You only want to say something, and you want to be understood by the other person. But sometimes it is not that easy. That is why you have to learn the 3 basic elements of communication. How works the executor, the action, and the receiver, and that is what you are going to see here. You are going to have 1. A grammar rule, to know how to say your things. 2. A text, to improve your pronunciation. 3. An exercise, to consolidate your knowledge. You will learn how to speak and listen to English and French. You will have free videos of English and French and how to settle, especially in Canada. That is why it's very important to click on the bell icon to receive the latest videos. Do you want to get rid of your language concerns? Here you improve your 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking to get a higher score on international tests in order to improve your career abilities and to immigrate to Canada or to any other English or French speaking country. Pay close attention to this video to find out how. In exchange, you help us by clicking on the bell icon and on the subscribe button and on the like button to spread the name of Canada's Smart Mind. Now, here we go. 1. Grammar rule. What is a verb? Stop sign. The verb is king in English. The shortest sentence contains a verb. You can make a one-word sentence with a verb, for example, stop. You cannot make a one-word sentence with any other type of word. Verbs are sometimes described as action words. This is partly true. Many verbs give the idea of action, of doing something. For example, words like run, fight, do and work all convey action. But some verbs do not give the idea of action. They give the idea of existence, of state, of being. For example, verbs like be, exist, seem and belong all convey state. A verb always has a subject. In the sentence John speaks English, John is the subject and speaks is the verb. In simple terms, therefore, we can say that verbs are words that tell us what a subject does or is. They describe action. Ram plays football. State, Anthony seems kind. There is something very special about verbs in English. Most other words, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions etc. do not change in form, although nouns can have singular and plural forms. But almost all verbs change in form. For example, the verb to work has 5 forms: to work, work, works, worked, working. Of course, this is still very few forms compared to some languages which may have 30 or more forms for a single verb. Now, here is the grammar rule that you can use while you are talking. Remember, you got to have the grammar rules, the pronunciation, and the vocabulary to sustain your conversation. I wish I could say some nice words and cool you down, but here is the thing, you have to go deep into your practice to develop your skills. We post here the basics of grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. So hit the subscribe button and bell icon in order to receive the other videos and increase your ability to speak. Also, contact us to see how easy and cheap it is to enroll in our teaching program, where you can have videos, exercises, and books to support your work and to increase your performance. And share this video with your friends and help them out too. Text.
US and Canadian researchers have recently completed identifying all the genetic information of lake trout. The digital map could help efforts to rebuild populations of the fish in North American lakes, officials said this week. The map is called a reference genome. It will help explain qualities that helped the species to evolve and spread across a large area. Mark Gaydon is a spokesman for the Great Lakes Fishery Commission. It is a US-Canadian agency that financed the research. Gaydon noted that lake trout have large differences in habitat use, shape, size, body mass, color. Gaydon added, "We need to understand why they look the way they do, why some types are more successful in some habitats than others, why some types in hatcheries do better than others." Lake trout numbers have been hurt by invasive species, overfishing, and pollution. Gaydon said data from the project will give information for programs that fill lakes with young trout. The team of experts published their report in Molecular Ecology Resources in early August. William Taylor, chairman of the Fishery Commission and a Michigan State University fisheries ecologist, described the map as a missing link in our efforts to restore lake trout. Lake trout once were common in the Great Lakes of the northeastern United States, and they are still common in other large North American lakes. Their numbers in the Great Lakes decreased in the 1900s with the invasion of the sea lamprey, an eel-like creature that attaches to fish and sucks their bodily fluids. Researchers developed a poison that is put into rivers where the lamprey reproduce, keeping their numbers from getting too high. But habitat loss, overfishing, and pollution have hurt efforts to bring back the lake trout. Although they can live for 20 years or more, it takes about 7 years for lake trout to become sexually mature. Many do not survive long enough to reproduce. Agencies continue to release them into all the Great Lakes, except Lake Superior, where they have recovered well, Gaydon said. Genomes of salmonids, a family of fish that includes lake trout, are harder to complete than those of many other animals, the research team said. Seth Smith of Michigan State University was the study's lead writer. Smith suggested the map makes it easier to compare results across studies and will hopefully quicken the pace of scientific discovery. Sean Sitar is a fisheries research biologist with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. He was not involved with the study. Sitar said returning lake trout to their important position in the Great Lakes will require understanding differences between lake trout at the subspecies level. He said the genome research will support this effort. He added, "If you want to restore a forest ecosystem, you don't put in just one tree. You want to restore the integrity of what that ecosystem was originally." I'm John Russell.
Remember to go to the description and check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada. Also, you will have a link for our contact in the description. Since you only can count on yourself, make your inscription and hit the like and the bell icons to receive our latest videos. 3. Exercise.
Words in this story: species, biology, a group of animals or plants that are similar and can produce young animals or plants, a group of related animals or plants that is smaller than a genus. Habitat, the place or type of place where a plant or animal naturally or normally lives or grows. Type, a particular kind of something. Hatchery, a place where people raise young chicken, fish, etc. from eggs. Pace, the speed at which someone or something moves. Restore, to bring back to an earlier or more numerous condition. Ecosystem, everything that exists in a particular environment. Integrity, the state of being complete or whole. Originally, in the beginning, the ways something was at a much earlier time.
Tell us your questions and pretty soon, you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video and we will know what you like and what we can do to better help you. Thank you for watching this video and be sure that we will be with you in this journey to turn your dreams into reality. Keep up there and write your story. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.